Hello, hello, dear stream, dear chat. Welcome to Monza. And let me try to figure out where I want this camera position to be. I can put it as forward as possible, I suppose. The shift lights on the physical steering wheel are good enough. This car is fun on brakes. Am I short shifting or what? Wait. Ah, it revs so much higher. Copy, copy. Oi, oi, oi. Some brake bias. Forward a bit. Let's see if that helps. Brake migration a bit less to front. And what do we have here with TC? Okay. And we are in quali. Hi Joao. I don't know if I have recovered. Well, not sure if there was much to be recovered, but obviously it would have been pretty good to win that race instead of DNF. But I was not too much down after it. Like I was... to me, the most important thing was that I was leading, despite not optimal pace and not optimal strategy. Yeah, I clicked. Well, on the back of the wheel I have at the top this rocker pedal, kind of like additional buttons at the back, and I have the push to pass, which is used out of every corner on the back, and right below it I have downshift. So I was upshifting, I was pressing push to pass, and I tapped the downshift, so it activated neutral because of both shift pedals being pressed. And that has not happened to me before, although seeing how close the downshift is to the push to pass, I wonder why did it not happen before already. But I have deactivated that neutral functionality, so if it happens again I'll just get downshift protection. Do I prefer caddy? Well, let's say I have just done a lot of setup work on Ferrari and Porsche, and none on the Caddy. So for this race, which is fixed, I just wanted to take something else. And I kind of like the Caddy. I forgot to move brake bias. I'm late. Ooh, yeah, okay. It's a write-off. I think I forgot to just TC. That TC cut is so aggressive. Put it to free and it's never gonna have any wheel spin. Not sure what to do with brake bias and brake migration. Well, let's see how turn 1 behaves. Well, I kind of like that this car rotates in low speed for a difference from Ferrari and Porsche. So brake early. That was okay. The TC is still cutting so much. Well, good enough for P1. There is one lap of fuel more. This default setup, stay green, thank you. This default setup is pretty nice and pretty esports. Very good rotation. Broke a bit too late. That was a bit too early, but it's an improvement. Well, no more fuel. I'll just check what turn 1 does now if I brake hard. I think the rears are locking. It's so weird because I watched this Is this visible from stream? Yeah, it is. Like the widget and the rears are getting orange instead of bronze, even though it's kind of understeering a bit. Yeah, the default setup. There is some sure issues with default setup, because some time ago, like if you went here in advanced and loaded the default, it would kind of be different every time. So I guess that's the same issue. I need some cooling. Okay, let's check the fuel, because I don't trust the menu. If Motec will cooperate. Okay. So 3.71. And it's a 20... How many? 32 minutes. What was the lap time? Let's say 34. So that's 94 seconds for 32-minute race. (21 laps times 3.7, 80 liters to be very safe. Well, that's already getting a bit close to the limit of virtual energy. Oh, it automatically gives you a different setup. Well, that's rough if that's the case.
Ladies and gentlemen, please start your engines.
Like, I have not double checked everything, but I'm just gonna put this, I think, a bit less pedal force. Yeah, I don't know about the setup. I hope that the rear wing is not jumping from 1 to 5 or something, but like it felt drivable kind of, and the values look kind of as they make sense. So about Motec workspace, okay, 1 minute and a half remaining. Basically I just use something that has been done by me and by my teammates through all the past 6 years. And there is a lot of clutter, but there is a lot of things that I can quickly have a look at and use, like these scatters and ride heights and stuff. Let's see. The front is bottoming, like here without filter. You see the zero is kind of between 20 and 25 because there is offset. There is a lot of front bottoming. Well, not a lot, but it would be if there was huge like, what was the word? Not traction, but like scrapping, friction. But there is not much friction, so there is not much time loss. But there is downforce loss, of course, when you crash into the ground. Right. Thank you, David. Let's see what kind of a start I get here. Wait, which button do I need to press? Okay, here it's the gaps. Okay, and I have the steering wheel, which I forget all the time. Guess second gear start. I feel like I should defend the inside maybe, just in case. A bit deep. I forgot to set the traction. 1 and 7-ish. Brake bias is okay, yeah. So the thing is that I think the Cadillac has worse efficiency, so I could be running 10 liters more than the Ferrari behind. Then as the fuel wears off, the difference will be less and less. Well, I mean, the Caddy is not bad after all the BOPs, because like, I don't know, 2 months ago, Ferrari was like 60 kilos lighter than it is now, but Caddy only got like plus 10 or even nothing. Let's see what the top speed balance is. Oh, I have quite some top speed. I'm still gonna defend. Ooh, okay. I left too much space on the inside. Well, triple same problem here. This race start has actually been my best in ages, because before I was either given the warning for too early acceleration, or I got jumped by at least 2 cars from behind. The Ferrari has a lot better performance in medium and high speed, it seems. Slightly better exit this time. I have same amount of liters that the Porsche requires. Okay. Yeah, the Porsche usually has 5 to 7 liters more than Ferrari, I think. And that's for like full stint. And here we are doing maybe 5 laps less than a full stint. And my battery needs some management. Yeah, Ferrari stops quite okay. But Ferrari is very tricky with very late front inside lockup. As you try to turn in and you drag the brake slightly, and it will just lock up like minimum 10% of a lockup, but it will feel like the whole front of the car detached. So it's annoying. On the other hand, the Caddy likes to lose the rear, but I prefer losing the rear slightly than losing the front. Well, at least most of the times. And yeah, the Ferrari efficiency is... well, I don't know, for sure it's the best. but like all these cars, Caddy and Porsche and so on, they have 50 kilowatt output. Ferrari has 200, so there is a big discrepancy. Or like you can empty the Ferrari battery in one straight, but you need whole up for Caddy or Porsche. Yeah, perhaps these Porfers, we like some rear slip on the entries. Well, I would like to say I hate rear slip on the entries, but that's because every car in RF2 in the past, or in iRacing, or in ACC, it required rear slip to rotate the car. I mean, of course, every car will rotate better with rear slip, but for the Sims, it used to be the case that you have to sacrifice the front rotation to have more rear rotation, and that's faster, and that's annoying, but it's how it was. But it's kind of fixed now in hypercar tire model. Hi Christian, thank you. Oh, understeer, that was interesting. Also the Caddy seems to handle the bumps better than Ferrari and Porsche, but it might be just this default setup. Oh, it eats the what's it called, the sausage. And David, about best Monza car. Yeah, I think the Porsche would be the best, but I think Porsche would be just all around the best car for now. But let's see what happens when they bring all the good updates. Because at the moment the top speeds are exceeding the real life by quite a lot. Because we don't get disqualified for running like horsepower, it's over the rules. Obviously, because it's always the horsepower is always nominal, because the fuel is nice and homogeneous and the engine works always as expected. As I'm slowly starting to pull away from P2. Or maybe he has done a little bit of a mistake. But, well, the Cadillac feels good. Purple S1 also. Well, reading the chat back, I see FSR 23 mentioned. Well, it was a nice car, but as long as you didn't drive it at Bahrain hairpins, where certain people were 2/10 faster than me because they were taking the hairpins sideways. So I am risking filling up the battery. I don't know how much I need actually. Maybe 20 or 30. This TC is insane. Like I have 1 and 7, but like the cut is 1, like it's the smallest cut that it can happen. And I'm just flooring it in first gear and there is 0 wheel spin. Don't want a track limit, but I need to take this. If I slow down, then I will have P2 on my rear. The brakes, if I got a feeling with the brakes, yeah, the brakes are good. I like them. Like it's funny because it has the same thing as like Porsche and Ferrari. Like I see the rears locking up a little bit, but it's not snapping, like it's not oversteering because of that. It's still reluctant to turn. But yeah, I need to kind of modulate the brake more than on other cars, otherwise the car will be sooner or later very tail happy. Yeah, and yeah, Ferrari and Toyota are for sure close to Porsche. I think, according to my testing, Ferrari is like maybe 2/10 of Porsche on average. And then Toyota, I have not driven it as much, but I tested a lot at Portimao. It felt a bit off Ferrari, to be honest, but not sure how much. Like I recorded that video with comparison with real life pole position lap and LMU Toyota. It was within 20 milliseconds and it was not easy to go any faster on those real road settings of the VEC weekly practice server. But I think, what was the lap time? 30.17 or 19 or something. And I think I could, with perfect lap, go just below 30, so like 29.9, and then I did 29.7 with Ferrari, so I would think Toyota is further 1 or 2 tenths off, as we see a weird... okay, he has pressed escape. That looked like there is a Ferrari sideways in the middle of the straight. But maybe Toyota is not the best with corners. Maybe it's best with high-speed corners or something, and then Portimao has mostly low speed. And that's a cut. Okay, it's a green one. How was this green? I cut it more than last time when I got yellow. Oh well, David, I hope it's fast enough. I don't know. I don't know what would happen if there were some other fast guys in a Porsche harassing me from behind. Is this third or fourth? I guess fourth gear. Like RF2 muscle memory keeps screaming at me, downshift, downshift, downshift. But there is not much traction in LMU. And there is enough power, even at slightly lower RPMs, to break that traction. So better to stay in a more conservative higher gear. Yeah, the brake bias required for Caddy is a lot more forward than on other cars. Like, what do we have now? 55.5 and MiG was 1. Although I'm putting it even more forward. Let's see. Oh yeah, Jake. Kind of same issue here. Kind of feels like the track is wet. Especially like low speed traction zone when it's kind of curved still on the exit. But then the traces and everything look pretty fine. I think that was a rear lockup now again. I quickly glanced over there, and front inside was green-blue, and then there was a bit of orange in the rear. So brake migration disabled, brake bias even more forward. That was nice. Even this entry is a bit more stable now. Yeah, that Bahrain turn 10. I think in the Porsche with which I did the VC weekly a couple of weeks ago, I was going 4 clicks to the rear every lap just for that double hairpin. I liked some engine braking now in Parabolica. But yeah, turn 10 Bahrain, either you mess around with brake bias corner by corner basis, or just brake early and lose some time and be safe. Which is not slow in LMU, to be honest. Yeah, RF2 in the wet is really nice. One more click brake bias. The rear is quite high. I think the rake is slightly too high for this track. Or rather, the front is too low. And then it hits the ground on the straights, but it generates too much rotation in medium speed. Okay, 57.7. I'm gonna increase it until I lock front. I don't know, but the more I put it forward, the later and the stronger I can brake. Let's see how it feels here. Okay, I missed the apex, but I missed it because I looked at the tire temps and I saw again the red was on the rear, not on the front. TC, no, brake bias. Jake, I would say both. Because TC can activate like slightly too late in some cases. Then you are already past the best slip angle, and then it activates, and then it cuts you a lot. Yeah, those LSMOs, I don't know what to blame. I think to some extent the FFB is to be blamed as well. But it does feel kind of surreal that sometimes you just like go on a slow rail through a corner, no movement on the rear, no anything, no TC action, and it feels like that's gonna be 2 tenths off, but then it's green on the delta, and that's how it should be. Oh, that's interesting information. Yeah, I got cuts in the past of LSMO 2 exit, so I was always careful with LSMO 1 as well. But do you see that? Like, this is now max to the front brake bias. Okay, that was my first front right lockup. But that was trail braking deep into Parabolica. Let's see what happens in turn 1. What is my motor? 20. Well, there you go. Cadillac braking performance in LMU fixed. Just remove brake migration, move brake bias all the way to front, and you have a nice car. And I still get nice, okay, that's a cut, but I still get nice late braking rotation performance. No inside locking. I don't remember how the Porsche felt at Monza. I don't think I even tested it at Monza. Yeah, because I did VC Weekly last time. No, it was not VC Weekly, it was the special event, like that, some stuff presented by Trustmaster or something it was called. And I just took the Ferrari and only drove the Ferrari, I think. Insane, I'm smashing the brake pedal like an idiot. Well, I did decrease the pressure from 100 to 95%, but the default value is like 78 or something. This is perfect. Beautiful car on the brakes. Am I just getting so much faster, or did P2 do a mistake? He was on my rear like 1 second back, and then I got lost into the brake bias research. Suddenly he's 10 seconds back. Whoa, 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 okay. And the delta is going green. Jake, I forgot what were my lap times with the Ferrari. Oh, watching this car at Long Beach, that's something else. I didn't even know that hypercars, or like those LMH and LMDH cars, race at street tracks. But I admit I don't know enough about American racing. Am I not bored of Monza? Never. Well, first chicane is a bit boring. I think it's terrible design. Also the second chicane curbs. Like, it used to be better when there were no anti-cuts and the curbs were those big things that you absolutely flew through them. That was more fun. Or even the double chicane like 25 years ago, but that one was a bit silly as well. But I like speed and power. And to be honest, I still have not fully figured out how to take some corners. Like, no matter what car I'm driving, I'm like, there usually on some tracks you just know, like, at that like you have a braking point and you just know for every car exactly where to brake, and you know what exactly every car will do on the apex and on the exit. But for Monza I'm struggling, especially with the Scari, I think. And also parabolic early entry, I'm never fully precise with where I'm hitting the apex, even though it's kind of a very open apex with fair room to like arrive at it with different angles. Yeah, like, despite a lot of sim racing experience, I still have things to learn, so I don't get bored. IMSA go to Long Beach. That's really cool. That's a very philosophical question, Aro. Well, Monza is kind of a special one. Because normally the car setup at Monza is like fully designed to give you top speed and traction. And then you need to bounce across the curbs in most of the corners. So I think, like I would say, like I could divide tracks in two camps, and then one camp would have tracks where it's very important to be able to take curbs consistently. Then the other camp of tracks would be tracks where curbs are not really something that's part of a racing line, but is just there to limit you from carrying gravel and grass onto the road. And Monza is surely a lot about driving the curbs. Oh, okay. That was first heavy front right lockup, so I don't know, I guess I would take like 59.1 generally for this car on this default setup. And if you do that, then all the braking problems are just fixed. But yeah, to finish about the sports pace in Monza, there are people who know exactly how to really well replicate lap by lap the perfect line through some curbs. And I'm sometimes struggling with that. Like this Ascari entry, I never know what to do. Anyway, that will do it for this race. I put a nice gap to P2. And the fuel was alright as well, not too much of over fuel. Well, Jake, ACC is something else. I think, well, eventually one would get the feeling of ACC, of course, and then be able to transfer it from track to track, but ACC feels like RF2 on wooden tires. Like if you do the exact perfect thing on the brakes and get the rear just a little bit out, like half a degree, it's gonna be fantastic. Otherwise it's 1 second off. And, hi Oskari, welcome. Yeah, Jake, like ACC, every corner exit, I'm like, what just happened? Like, and I'm doing very consistent lap times in ACC, to be honest. Like it's in long run I can be within 10.5, like 20 laps in a row. The issue is, thank you, let's send some report. I won the race and clicked exit and game crashed. Send error report. Close. And let's relaunch. Game over, yeah. So ACC, yeah, I can be very consistent, but issue is that every lap is 1 second off what it should be. Which is really, really weird, because in no lap I really like do a corner in a way that I suddenly see, okay, wow, this was 2/10 faster, let's try this next time. No, it's all like very precise, but very off pace. So it just feels like I need to completely erase all that I know about sim racing from my brain and just do it a bit differently. And I don't know, I always thought ACC is better than iRacing. But then if one assumes that iRacing, or like if one assumes that RF2 has the best physics, then iRacing has... Maybe RF2 knowledge translates more towards iRacing than towards ACC somehow. Rank breakdown. +3, okay. Oh, we had a contact with Andres. Where? Maybe when he dived into turn 1, but I didn't feel any contact. Yeah, emotional damage, yeah, exactly. So register. What color of a car do I take today? Slightly green one. Do we see any known names? I tried to convince my dear teammate Jesper to register. I even sent him a setup, because this is OpenSet. I'm not sure if I actually convinced him to do this. And one important check to do. Weather radar. Because I have left my window opened, and there was a pretty big thunderstorm very close to here. So I was worried that it's a bad idea to leave it opened. But the thunderstorm went through. So the window will stay open. Car setup. Load. Time for one lap? No, I don't. I never know what to do with the camera in this car. Like a bit backwards to make the pillar smaller, but then it's blocking all the apexes. How much does it go to front? Yeah, like this. So silly, like quarter of the monitor blocked with the pillar. And they decided, no, let's limit the seat position movement because this is realistic. So I think what you hear is the fan. The fan is off now, so do you still hear the white noise when I'm talking? Because the fan is very loud and I'm very annoyed by it, and I will buy a different one. Like, I've had a plastic fan for 15 euros or so before, and it was kind of smelling sometimes of plastic. So like when I'm standing, like escape, return to garage. like now. I guess now there should be a lot less white noise. But yeah, like this, I bought like, well, you can see it from here, kind of a metal fan. I thought it's gonna be great, but it's so loud that it's so stupid. But I need it. It's difficult to get like a silent fan. It would need to be quite a big one. I wanted to get those what is called wind simulators. Like I would have two ducts here coming out, and then there would be a fan behind. But those wind sims all have those small, like 12 or 14 centimeter fans, which spin very fast, and that's annoying as well. Would need to get like that workshop fan, like a huge one, like 1 meter one, and then put it behind the whole rig, and then it would just gently wind me from behind the monitor. But every layout comes with an issue, like where to mount it, and then it would also blow hot air from the monitor, which is quite, I would say this is like 43 to 45 Celsius. And at the top it's not as hot, but still it's like warming me up. Would need a cold air intake. Well, Aro about WC level and laps needed. I don't know. Like I think of this quite a lot actually, or like not quite a lot, but I think many times at what point have I become happy with my performance and my pace? And it must have been around like 2018. Like 2017 I won some WC races. 2018 as well, but 2019 I dominated at least first half of the season. And I think the issue was not the pace, because I remember 2013. Was it 20? Yeah, 2013 FSRWC Monaco. I got pole position in Q1. Unfortunately, there was also Q2 with one shot attempt, like 1 by 1. So I was then like P5 or P6 on the grid. But I feel like the pace was always there, but I had a DFGT, the old Logitech, and it was so slow to like react, and it was not great. So issue was just how high is the probability that I do that lap time. And then in the upcoming years, I was always fast, but I mean, many people are fast, but if you cannot put in the quali lap, then it doesn't matter. But yeah, like, I don't know, 5 FSRW seasons of 12-ish rounds on average, 14-ish rounds, maybe 500 laps of prep per race. Although some years were a lot less, some years a lot more. That's like 5,000 times like 30,000 laps, I don't know. And I do have probably nice crash. How much? 6,000 hours? I think 5 to 6,000 hours in RF2. And then I suppose 3 to 4,000 in RF1. Maybe 1,000 or 2,000 in F1 Challenge. But part of that was with joystick and keyboard. Oh, Oscar, ultra-wide monitor. Exciting. Which one did you get? And how much did you pay, if I may ask? Like, this one is probably the worst ultra-wide that you can get, that still has 1 millisecond reaction and 144 Hz. But it's got, like, if I move a bit closer to the monitor, I already see the pixels, because it's 180p. Also, it's got a lot of, like, not shadows, but like when the car moves, it leaves a trail behind in some cases, and it looks quite weird, but obviously not too annoying when racing. Yeah, Jake, like the 500 is interesting because some years in FSR, like even 2017, it was not, probably it was the least competitive year of them all, because I did not do any setup work at all, or very little, just wings and stuff, and we did like 150 to 250 laps of practice, and it was good enough. Well, not good enough to get championship, but I won quite some races. And then this year, like for Hockenheim, like FSR round 3 was it? Like after 100 laps, I was happy with everything, I could go straight to race if I wanted. The only thing that I did in the next 100 more laps of practice was just figure out the compounds a bit more. And there are some other rounds where nothing feels good, like Silverstone, where I kept clicking and it was Sunday afternoon and I still needed to adjust setup significantly to get anywhere. Oh, you broke the monitor. Oof. Well, if it was not good, then, you know, unlucky. Or like, what's the phrase in English? Happy bad luck. Oh well, that's a fair decision, or like fair philosophy to have. I had to upgrade to a better monitor because my old one, like before this ultra-wide, I already upgraded once. Because the old one was not even 16 versus 9 resolution, it was like 16 versus 10. And it was 60 Hz and so on. So the upgrade was pretty good. But then the ultra-wide is really useful when suddenly you can see the apexes. But then you have this A pillar here and then I cannot see apex anymore again. At least I can see the right ones. need to be careful with the white lines because they have updated the cuts. And it's a very strict white line policy. But the car does not like to bottom on the curbs anyway, so that's alright. We should have used first gear, but it's way too short. Rear was a bit weird or too alive. Ay, too late. Yeah, alright. Yeah, 144 Hz, like when you first feel it, it's the best thing is moving the mouse across the desktop. Like that's so... it feels so good. But then in RF2, it's really good as well. Until RF2 does RF2 things, and then you have like, I have 137 fixed frame rate, very stable, but sometimes it feels like 30 FPS for no reason, just small micro stutters. Okay, let's get my cooling back on. Yeah, I'm about the 500 laps in Pro. And crash in lap 1, it's... yeah, it's... I can surely understand what you mean, because it's a problem to let that race decide the mood for the week. Some years ago I was like, well, if I won I was happy, if I didn't win I was unhappy, but that's not the mentality to have either. It's just gonna cause burnout. What is this rear? Wait, 2 minutes. Do you have time to adjust? No, I don't. I'm gonna coast through this lap. I would need to adjust the ARB or something because my rear is slightly too heavy. Maybe I can move brake bias a bit forward. Issue was that I bought the ultra wide and then I still had the old 1060 3GB VRAM, and then I suddenly had to manually decrease the resolution to like semi ultra wide resolution just to be able to drive. For Le Mans Virtual, that's obviously not the best thing to have. So, okay, this is the last attempt. had to downshift to first because the angle was a bit too acute. Is that off track? It's not off track, okay. Still 3 purple sectors, I think. Yep. Very nice. But it would not be bad to have some competition either, but alright. We will have some more competition in the race after this. You wonder what it feels like to win WC. Or yeah. Well, it depends. It depends on in what situation you are with the life. Like, wait, I need to first calculate the strategy. So with the same lap times as at Monza, nice. 34, so 94. Yeah, 21 laps.
Ladies and gentlemen, please start your
4.
engine.
50.4 liters. Hi, Oven. I don't know how to pronounce the Oven. When I say oven, that sounds like the baking thing, so with W I'm struggling. Actually, wait 1 minute. Be right back. Alright. Owen. Okay. I think Slavic people have less problems pronouncing Western names than other way around, or like even Germans compared to non-Germans. I don't know. McGowie. Yeah, before I wanted to say about the feeling of victory, like for me it was driving too slow, copy. For me it was even more important because it was my career on the line, so like one good result could mean I get full-time salary, one bad result could mean I need to find a job. So then victory is like winning Le Mans Virtual round 1 there at Bahrain. It was insane. Late start line. Let's go. I'm managing the starts quite well today. was not the best managed. Oh well, you guys from Race Clutch, feel free to start on hards more often. It's interesting for the strategies. I struggle with that corner so much, for some reason. Yeah, also I didn't fix the ARBs, but alright. I think it was a bit better with brake bias. Triple hard, let's go. Well, I agree that defending is way less enjoyable than attacking. But then it's not too bad to be ahead. Especially when you know that every lap that you defend, it's easier when you are on hards and the car behind on medium. But now you're making me to relieve Yannick's winning moments. Or where is the corner? Why did I go so deep? Or you are making me go in my brain through what I should have gone at Silverstone if I had decided to assign my buttons a bit differently on my steering wheel. Yeah, okay. That corner is so funny, but I see the car behind is struggling as well. That crest, like you hit it a bit too soon and then you just go off. You hit it too late and you go off as well. Yeah, Oscar, we are winning for now. I find it a good challenge to read the chat around Portimao when there is not much of straight anywhere, and then to stay on track. But I don't think I'm driving that much of pace, but still the car behind has some good pace. Oh, yeah. Every lap I do this, I don't know. Luckily P2 went wide as well. But this car is kind of like ACC to some extent. In some corners you try to turn in and nothing happens, you just need to wait for the rear to decide to do something. And yeah, about Silverstone and FSR and downshift, upshift activation, I can happily announce I have disabled that option in controller INI. Now, next thing, is that I need to figure out where my neutral button is assigned to. Yeah, Jake, about undercuts. I was surprised. At some point I thought that you guys went onto cards to mess up with us, and then that you would just box at lap 11 and go to softs anyway. Because I honestly expected the race to be 3-stopper, at least for P1, and then 2-stopper maybe holding on for a P3. Yeah, the chat position is for sure a thought of mine. I could do it so that it spells some messages aloud, but it's an issue because now I can do whatever. I can make it in the middle of the screen, and then you can send me GIFs. So I will see a GIF instead of an Apex, and it's alright because it's just LMU Online. But for FSR or bigger esports, I don't know yet what to do with it. If I make it more like centered to my vision, I will be less distracted when reading it. But then I will, like during quali lap, see messages pop up. Now it's kind of high enough on the secondary monitor that it's not affecting me. But I will find a solution. Also, I should have nice fresh scenes and transitions and graphics coming soon. Which should go well with finally having the team that I'm driving for officially announced. Yeah, Oscar, you did tell me I could have chat on here. I could. And what option did I disable? So, alternate neutral activation, I think. I know it has neutral in the name and alternate. And it's not in player, it's in controller. Yeah, Oscar, it's just basically mimicking what some real race cars do, like when you pull both pedals it goes to neutral. And that's, yeah, like all that it does is it makes you feel special when you pull both shifters. And it saves one button, because you don't need to assign neutral. Although then you have to assign it anyway, because if neutral is not assigned, then it goes from first to neutral when you downshift. But if you have neutral button assigned, then it will not go from first to neutral by just downshifting. You need to actually hit the assigned button. It's complicated. Bring back ghost speed. Well, good times. Or well, some good, some bad. Mostly good memories. For sure useful times. Because I had to learn everything. Had to figure out how to set up a car myself. Because we were just clicking and doing claps and we didn't really have any idea what we were doing. To be honest, they introduced shift protection, and I wonder why that thing cannot prevent shifting from first to, or like from neutral to first. Or maybe it's a mod issue, because then there is this Porsche Cup car where you go to neutral and sometimes it takes you literally half a lap of doing random things with RPM and clutch and shifting and downshifting and do whatever. It takes you half a lap to finally manage to go back from neutral to first. Or actually even from first to second. Because when I was preparing for that, what was it called? Sim Formula Europe in December and January. I remember that Bahrain race was quite stressful because in some occasions in first gear, if you went too high with the RPM in first gear, it would disable you from upshifting to second. It was super strange. So then I always short shifted from first to second. And then suddenly the problem kind of resolved itself. I'm not sure if I just got used to perfect shift point or what, but it was really weird. I cannot do that corner properly somehow. I think I need to just keep second gear, but it drives like Ferrari F14 or whatever it was called. Understeering and oversteering at the same time. My fault, it's open setup, I have not clicked the correct clicks. But well, still P1. Oh yeah, the GT freeze in RF2. Yeah, we struggled a lot with that. It was a GT Challenge, like 1 year ago. That was the GT Challenge series. And I think the story went like that the cars are set, like the shift protection is set just like it is in real cars when they go out of factory. But then obviously teams have computers and they can reset and change stuff. So they do shift protection as they need. But unfortunately RF2 has no functionality like that. So we are stuck with the factory settings. Then you have very limited options for shifting, which is most annoying when you want to go into a corner and do 2 fast downshifts or 3, like Daytona bus stop chicane. And then the last downshift just will not happen. Ooh, there's a big look from the car behind. I think what is happening here is the guy put a very low rear wing. Somehow, well, that's a lot more difficult to drive, so I would assume he has messed up the quali a little bit and then got P2, P3, P4 in quali. But now in the race it is turning out to be pretty good aero setting. Yeah, the Fiat Oscar. Oh dear. I thought I braked normal at a normal point there, but just went straight off. So probably I have way too aggressive roll bars and way too much rear wing, because look at the car behind, just pulling 2/10 on me on the straight. It's just one mirror in LMU, but I think for sure that one mirror in LMU is wider than the middle one in RF2. So kind of feels like it's still almost the same vision that you have. Like I'm yet to lack visibility. Now I'm too early on the brakes. Tricky car to set up. Also a tricky track to set up. And these weird gear ratios don't help either. LMP3 on RF2. I have driven the Norma and actually I didn't really do much setup work on it. I think if I remember correctly, we used it at that D-Race All-Star competition in 2020 for a race at Sebring, and I was maybe half a second or more off pace in practice, and then suddenly I had enough of the twitchiness and I went into the calibration settings and I unticked vehicle set steering range and literally made it 2 times more open. Or maybe it was like 1.7 times, not 2 times. Suddenly 1 lap and I was before, like 10th off. So I think it requires trying to survive here before I say more on the normal LMP3. But it requires very smooth driving, although it still is RF2 and it still requires rear for the rotation. But it's that like sacrificing of the front grip to give you the rotation, like usual RF2 issue. But the tire model is a bit different than on GT3s or the like on the old GT3s or then on the new ones after the update. It's like some intermediate tire model that was also used in tattoos, I think, or like something similar, because I believe cold tires lose a relatively more grip on the LMP3. Although if you try to warm them up, then the pressures rise and then you lose a lot of lap time. Well, LMP3 at Lime Rock, I don't know about that. To me it's way too big for Lime Rock. And in my personal opinion, it's one of the worst cars to drive because of the stupid camera position in the cockpit. It's like you're sitting in the, like, what's it called, the drawer, or like where you put your water bottle in the right side door, like you're sitting in the door and half of the vision is blocked by the wiper. Or I even think, wait, was it something weird, like wiper, when you turned it on in the wet, it was not wiping your field of view or something, it was wiping the middle. Kind of, if you're looking here, the wiper was only doing like this. It was something really weird. For a moment I forgot which corner on the track I'm doing. Yeah, I thought, Oscar, that you probably used quite some sarcasm there. Because, yeah, it did ring the bell. Yeah, it was used in the race for a round. I'm trying to figure out what happened, because I don't remember driving it. But for sure I did drive it. I drove every one of those D-race things. Well, I need to defend here. I think I need to... I think I did that D-race race. I had terrible qualifying. I gained some places on the start, but it was not enough or something. And then I did not get into top 10 for the final. But it didn't matter because we all just got participation prize. Didn't matter if you won or not for that LMP3 season. I think I'm turning the wheel too much. because it does turn in quite a lot, and then suddenly it just gives up in low speed, especially when I stop braking. Oh no, he's coming to eat me alive. This T1 is not the best corner to defend, because you just lose 50 kph apex speed. But he's got rear wing 1, I think. So he does not have the downforce to carry the speed through. And I'm missing every apex. Well, Oscar, I had a nice race at Lime Rock with BTCC cars, but it was wet. It was RF2 online system, like 2 or 3 months ago. It was before LMU was released. And I was P2 for most of the race, and then I did a dummy into turn 1, and the leader reacted to me. And unfortunately for him, went 2 car lengths of the apex, and I got the position. GPV drove here 10 years ago. Interesting. Oh well, that RF2 version of Portimao is depressing. But I mean, yeah, it's got mostly low speed corners and flat out sections, so it makes sense to use very low downforce, especially on heavily broken open wheelers of RF2. Although I guess in 2014 there was not enough time to break the original mods. Like Formula ISI was a nice car, and that Marusha Formula was pretty good as well. Oh yeah, they did quite some wet races. I'm missing more wet racing here in LMU. We had one at Sebring. But that's about it. Great question. 2014 FSR was using RF2 in 14 for sure. But yeah, I do remember GPV sticking with RF1 for longer. So yeah, in 2014 it must have been on RF1 for GPV then. Yeah, then I can easily imagine some crazy setups for here. Oh, it's actually just one more lap. Oh, that GT scared me so much. Disappeared in my dead zone. Dead zone. Another word I must learn in English. Dead field would be a direct translation. Or dead angle. From language, from Slovenian language. Blind spot it is, yes. F1 challenge stream, oh dear. Well, I watched one YouTuber doing like a whole season in F1 challenge like half a year ago or so. Second win, one more. Angles Morts. Wait, this sounds French, so I probably butchered the pronunciation. Oh yeah, the alternate neutral activation. Wait, does it work here? 3? Okay. Well, it worked now because I was going so slow. Like, going from higher gear to neutral and then directly to first. I think it would not work otherwise. I can try now in the GTs. Dead Angels. I should have written GG or GR or whatever. That guy was pretty fast. Not angels, okay. Excusez-moi. I mean, the hypercars in LMU feels like long-haul trucks sometimes. Angle. 30-degree angle. Understood. Like when they open the wings by 30 degrees, you know. I don't speak French, to be honest. The only French that I know is from one class where there was like a teacher missing in elementary school, and then the French teacher came and taught us French. And then I watched some movies from Louis de Funès, I think. Yeah, some old movies. And they were in French, obviously with Slovenian subtitles, but I heard a lot of French in those movies. So the final race is GT fixed. Hi, also GT winner, congrats. I must have overtaken you at some point. Was there, like, there was a big train for GTE lead, right? I'm just double checking in my head if that's the race that I wanted to do, because I wanted to do this because I don't have time for another weekly race, although no weekly, one intermediate race. Although it would be quite fun to take some Vanval around Monza or something, but yeah, I will do Bahrain. I overtake you at the exit of last. Yeah, there was like a train of cars, and I took very inside. And I was lucky enough that the guy behind me did not get a big run on me. I don't know what car to take. Should we take the C8R? First two guys run out of fuel. Okay. Must have been two brothers that both failed to calculate the correct fuel. Alright. Well, I will join practice. A lot of people. And again, I'll be right back. 2 minutes. See you soon. Ay, ay, ay. I'm back and I think I crashed into my camera. Also, why am I not in the server? Hi Nico, enjoy. Same issues here. I wanted to have 2 laps of practice, but I guess the session ran out of time. Lunchtime in Argentina. Well, enjoy. Wait, Argentinian food? I don't even know. The only food that I know from Argentina is a big steak. I don't even know what is the cuisine from that part of the world. The only news from Argentina that I get is that new prime minister fixing the economy or something. Where is my teammate? Wait, is he? Where is Jesper? I hope he has signed for the correct race. I cannot see him. Have I missed him? But he's silver already. I don't know. Well, at least we have Jesus. Yeah, there is no Jesper in the list. I could try to butcher every surname. But let's rather try to get into the server. Ah! Okay. Yeah, the list did update when I went out and in again. Is my FFB on? It is on. Now let's see how the C8R drives around here on the stock setup. Lovely jump from 55% loading to 100%. What do we have in the setup? Much fuel. Alright, let's see how the car drives. Oh really? That's max forward or what? Oh yeah. I would blame cold tires, but I don't think there is much of a cold tires in the GTEs for now. I guess the balance is alright. Low speed rotation is esports enough. High speed rotation is deadly. I thought it crashed. 6 minutes. I guess 4 laps is enough. Yeah, I'm a bit scared of that high-speed balance. On throttle it's quite understeering, and then I try to brake. There is so much squat on the front that it just goes like the rear. Also I think this car doesn't like a red line. It needs to be upshifted a bit earlier. Oh, low speed rotation is really nice. Maybe a brake bias still should go a bit more to front. BOP, I think it's quite balanced. Like, the issue is that the default setups, in my view, are extremely esports. Like, they are not made in any way to be easy to drive. I don't really understand the point. I think the Porsche is supposedly tamed enough so that it's stable. I think Aston is a bit off, but supposedly other cars are pretty evenly matched, although the Ferrari should still be like best overall car. I think I didn't brake enough, but the braking point was good. Yeah, look at that. The rear just snaps. It's not something that the brake bias will fix. It's an aero problem. Even it's probably it's mechanical problem as well. The rear is too stiff. No purple sectors. A bit worrying. 1.5 of Jesper. So much rear rotation. Yeah, very difficult setup. That's a bit too nice. 4 more tenths to get Jesper. And that's not how to gain 4 tenths. It drives just like that Ferrari at Monza on stock setup. Very, very difficult. Or at the Fuji where I drove most of the cars, to be honest. All cars very on the edge, very difficult to drive on the default setup. And that's a bit surprising. I thought they have fixed set the default setups to be easily accessible, but the way that this handles is very, very on the nose, and then no wonder people cry about GTEs in LMU. It's all like rear rotation and hovering, like the rear is hovering around and the front is kind of staying put and giving a good FFB, but I never had that oversteery setup for any race that I have done on open setups in GT cars. Just like so unstable. Oh, hi Jesper. I hope the pizza was fine. Or at least better than that Italian pizza from Lake Garda. Okay, what was the fuel consumption? 2.95. Let's see if it was great. Fantastic.
Ladies and gentlemen, please start your engines.
20 minutes. And it's gonna be 1:15. Sorry, how many seconds? 115. 116 per lap. 11 laps times 3, 33 liters to be very, very safe. I've got bug, okay. I mean, it's not slow, but it's just difficult to drive. And to be honest, I never had, what was it, 33 liters? I never had a GT car not handle like this in LMU. So, like on these weird default setups. So, I don't know if it's a bug or not. Then it's bug. Alright, then I always had a bug. Well, enjoy turn 1. Wait, this is sleep. Oh, it's separately adjustable. Okay. Yeah, I cannot see the car on the left. Unlucky. Oh, Jesper slept. He won! Yeah, Jesper wanted to make a nice start and suddenly the game called it green. I hope Porsche has straight line issues. I guess he realized I have issues with my brakes. RIP. Nice dummy, but it was not close enough. I feel like I need to be ahead, at least in the midfield, because on the straights it's fine, but then high speed he's just gonna pull away. I don't know how to take this corner. Should be third gear, but there is not enough rotation, and then there is suddenly too much rotation. I hope he will not dive again too far away. Ah, this works in third. I keep third gear then. Ah, yeah, he was now further away, so he could carry better speed to the last corner. Yeah, just must not turn in. Just keep some lock, but never turn in fully, otherwise the car will snap. Oh no. The Porsche is lacking a lot of power, looks like. He gets it all back in the braking, but He must be on mix 1 or something. Or is it just the Porsche really that out of power? But then, for the C8R, power seems to be the only thing going for it. I just cannot make that thing to stop. If I stay in 4th, I understeer. If I go to 3rd, I lose the rear. Difficult. Ui, ui, ui. Come on, power. He's somewhere there, I don't know. Okay. A bit wide, but that's how real racing goes sometimes. He's gonna dive me. There is no no grip around the outside there in RF2. LMU, I mean. Shit, he's got an overlap. Bonk. It's actually quite far away. I'm out of grip. I can just hope that the Porsche starts doing Porsche things. That was a bad line. Two more laps. I have some speed in the hairpins at least. slightly suboptimal last corner, but probably close enough for a dive. All the time you have to leave the space. Oh, that was second gear, oh no. I was wondering what was going on. Should have gone for inside into T1. Well, I tried. I had a look at the 100-meter board as the brake marker, but was slightly too late for that. Oh well, it's 2 out of 3 wins. And it's losing to Jesper is nothing to be ashamed of. But the people who made the fixed setup for this car should be ashamed of it. I mean, it's it could be a bit more stable. Oh well. Well, I mean, if it's actually a setup bug, then oh well, they will fix it at some point. But on the brakes, every braking zone at the start was like, oh, what the rear is gonna do? Like just like a helium balloon got attached on the rear as I stepped on the brakes. That, yes, the 20 minutes side by side, it felt like Formula 4 race or something. That was very nice. It was like that historic racing where there is like this Mustang versus Minis when yeah, because I just had huge power and nothing else, and then he had the agility in corners. Oof. Well, I would watch the replay, but I cannot because there is no functionality to do it. So, alright. Fastest lap by 7 milliseconds, let's go. I think the last corner was the worst for me, to be honest. In the hairpins I kind of came close, and also in the highest speed, like the S's, like left-right, towards the end of sector 2, I always gained a bit. But every time I had to go heavily on the brakes, and then have some traction, it was a struggle. But a really good race. Yes, very good job. Would need to watch the battle, because it felt like there was not a decisive moment where I lost it. It was like through 5 corners where I was slowly but surely losing the advantage. It was crazy fun. Hopefully I can make a reel out of it or something. Alright. Yeah, sorry Jesper, I saw you on Discord that I had to run for some food quickly before the race, so I didn't have time to really click and join. Yeah, I had slightly a lot more balanced car, so I had to even go for first gear and actually turn into some corners, Whereas at the start I was basically forklifting everywhere. Oof. Well, Jesper, that's a tricky question. Yeah, 3 races, 2 wins. Yeah, you killed my stream, Jesper. How can you do it? Or maybe you made it. You made the title to be clickbait. Yes, but I have to apologize because I have to run. Actually, I plan to do 3 rounds now, and I have choir in half an hour, so I need a shower and quick race with the car to the place where we have the choir. So I hope you have time tomorrow or maybe on the weekend. I mean, I did tell you, right, that I'm just doing these 3 rounds. Thank you. Well, Jesper, go for the intermediate races. Take the Peugeot at Monza and try to win. Well, will the results get generated or not? It was a very short race, so yeah, there it is. Oh, okay. I still gained DR. That's very nice to see. But I think one needs to be P2. If I was P3, then it would be quite a lot negative. P1 and P2 is positive. So rank breakdown. So confusing when P2 is in the middle. Yeah, okay. Quali contact with post. What post? Contact with Jesper. Yeah, that was my fault. Yeah, if you still watch Jesper, sorry for the bonks from behind. I tried to survive the braking zones. Sometimes your car was ahead, so had to use it. But alright, well, that's the stream for today. So, dear viewers, thank you for being here, for the chats. Hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, Bonks is racing. Like, it felt like BTCC, to be honest. The pace, or like how the handling of this car always feels like BTCC or something. So yeah, part of racing. Alright. See you in the upcoming days. I'm gonna stream LMU a bit more. There is no FSR this weekend, so it's gonna be LMU party. Maybe 3 out of 3 wins next time. Yeah, well, guys, have a nice rest of the day, or nice evening, or nice whatever you have in your part of the world. And